KMES English Medium Junior College welcome its 12th standard students for the online lecture of philosophy for chapter 2nd. What is cause? For the topic Modern Philosophy. Students, we have already started chapter 2nd, What is the cause? In which we have seen the introduction, the concept of cause, the notion of cause in Indian philosophy, the notion of cause in Western philosophy. In today's lecture, we are going to study about modern philosophy and David Hume, a modern philosopher, view regarding it. The medieval period. In this period, the philosophy was greatly influenced by Aristotle's cosmology. But with the emergence of modern philosophy, that is, with the emergence of modern science, philosophy view regarding the origin of the universe, that is, the cosmological view of Aristotle, took a back seat. Now, science underlines the fact with mere speculation, even when it is logically consistent, is not enough for understanding of the universe. It must have some strong basis of experience too. Empirism was introduced in modern philosophy. Keeping this fact in mind, empiricism and rationalism are two main trends of epistemology. We will study them later. In this lesson, we will study the view of empirist philosopher David Hume regarding the cause-effect relationship. In the medieval period, Aristotle's view about the world were mainly derived from his speculation. It did not have a strong base of experience. His perspective of the world was teleological. The purpose or ultimate cause behind every change was important to him. Similarly, he considered the efficient cause to be important. His analysis of causation was very useful with respect to the man-made object. However, it was not possible to apply the concept of final cause and efficient cause to explain the change occurring in the nature. So, in the modern time, the idea that a change is in nature is caused by someone, efficient cause, for something, final cause, was not accepted. So, modern philosophy did not accept the idea of efficient cause and final cause. With this, science emerged in the period as a period of enlightenment. Modern science looked at the world as a giant machine. Their perspectives believed that events in nature occur mechanically, according to the law of nature. Logical, consistent thinking is not enough to understand the nature of the world. So, in modern times, Aristotle's teleological view was replaced by a mechanical view of science. So this was time of replacement, the teleological view with the mechanical view. The lead taken by science during this period was for profound impact on modern epistemology. So, modern epistemology was greatly influenced by the lead taken by science. trend of epistemology mentioned above by rationalists is influenced by the method of mathematics, while imperialism is influenced by the method of science. So, the two philosophers, the rationalists and the imperialists, have two different views. One believes, that is rationalists believe in the method of mathematics, while the influenced believe in the method of science. One of the most important philosophers who educated imperialism was David Hume. His view on the possession is completely different. So let us study the David Hume view about modern philosophy. Students, let us look at the David Hume view regarding modern philosophy. David Hume believes that sense experience is a primary source of knowledge. So, according to David Hume, the primary source of knowledge is sense experience. He said there are various types of ideas that are there in our mind. But all this idea does not give us a knowledge. So, we cannot gain knowledge from all the idea that is there in our mind. He said that only the idea acquired through sense experience are useful in order to gain the knowledge of the world. That is, the knowledge of the world that we have is acquired through sense experience are useful. Sometimes we get confused when we consider the ideas which are not based on experience to be true and try to produce knowledge from them. That means that when we receive ideas from others which we do not get from sense experience, we are confused whether it is true or not and try to find true knowledge behind it. Hume strongly believed that even if this idea were influential, we are well received by the community, such ideas should not be accepted. So, Hume was completely against in believing something that we receive influentially. Hume offered an experience-based criteria analysis to understanding of possession that prevailed before us. He said we should use experience-based criteria to analyze our thinking of possession. As per the common understanding of that period, cause is what which has the potentiality to produce effect. So, at that time, cause was considered to have potentiality. The potentiality of the cause was to produce effect. Since the effect emerged from this potentiality, effect cannot be more powerful than cause. It means the cause is powerful than effect. This view was also accepted by science. It means that science believes that the effect emerged from the potentiality cannot be powerful than the cause. At that time, a rationalist thinker, a philosopher, Descartes, was also influenced by this view. Another related view was that there is a necessary relationship between cause and effect. So, the new view emerged during that time, that is, the relationship between the cause and the effect. That is, if the cause is present, then the effect must be generated. It is true that there cannot be an effect without the cause. But it is also true that there cannot be cause without an effect. Rationalists had accepted the necessity of the cause-effect relationship. So, the rationalists here believe in the imperialist idea of cause-effect relationship. This was done by analyzing the cause-effect relationship. Hume completely rejected the belief that the relationship is necessary one. In his analysis, Hume states that thus it exactly means to say that an event is cause of another event. Let us study the A as the cause of B. While asserting A as the cause of B, following things are implied. 1. A and B are close to each other in terms of space and time. Second, A and B are bounded in a sequence. A always exists prior to B. Third, there is a regular association or correlation between A and B, or A and B are constantly together. Fourth, A and B are necessarily related. Hume analyzed all these four factors related to our understanding of causal relationships by using the empirical method. He concluded that the first three ideas of proximity, sequence, regular association are created on the basis of our sense experience. But we never experience the idea of necessary connection. Following the imperialist standpoint, according to which that which cannot be experienced does not exist. Hume said that the cause-effect relationship is not a necessary one. Hume explained his viewpoint with the help of an example. He said, we experience that if a candle is kept in the soaring heat of the sun for a long time, the wax melts. We explain this experience as the soaring heat is the cause of melting of the wax. The wax does not melt unless the sunlight and the wax come in contact with each other. These experiences enforce the idea that cause and effect are closely related to each other. It never so happens that the wax melts first and then the candle is kept in the sunlight. There is never a reverse of this sequence. As per the notion of sequences, the candle melts only after it is kept in the sunlight. Regardless of the number of times we place a candle in sunlight, it melts every time. Hence, it shows that the idea of regular association is correct one. But while seeing the candle melt in the heat, we never experience the necessity, even if in this instance is repeatedly necessary is not experienced. For such observation, so Hume concludes that although the concept of necessity is deeply rooted in our mind, it has no base in reality. Now the question arises, how then, in these ideas so widely accepted? Hume answered this question from a psychological standpoint. According to him, many times we see the regular association of cause and effect. Many times we also experience the effect never occur without the cause. Due to experience of regular association between the cause and effect, we start believing that there is a necessary relationship between them. But this is not the fact. If any relationship is necessary, then its denial leads to contradiction. It is contradiction to say that a figure is strangled. However, if it does not have three sides, but only two. Saying that a candle did not melt in sun can be false, but not contradictory. It is possible for us to imagine a candle that may not melt even in the heat. But can you think of triangle with a two sides? Hume's critical analysis of causality created an upheaval in the field of both philosophy and science. All the philosophers after Hume had to take into account his analysis of causal relationships and interaction. The attempts made to encounter his views were helpful for the development of philosophy, especially of epistemology and methodology. So this was the strong viewpoint of David Hume regarding the necessity